This past weekend was Watch Heaven in New York. Windup Watch Fair and WatchTime New York both taking place at the same time. So we drove up to Manhattan and hit the shows. In this video, I want to give you a glimpse of 2025's Windup Watch Fair so that you can experience it virtually. This show featured over 140 brands, which is pretty insane. I won't bore you with all the details, but just showcase some of the coolest timepieces we saw at the fair. Stay till the end to see my favorite watch from the show. First up, we hit Horaj's booth where we saw the upcoming Revolution 3 Micro Reg. Super impressive watch with such innovative technology. Also, the movements on the front and looks pretty sick. Sticking with Horaj, I tried on their Autark Tourbillon in titanium. That's an integrated bracelet watch with a fully in-house developed tourbillon. Amazing timepiece and an awesome brand. Next up was the Madhouse with the Mad 1S and the Mad 2S. Some of the most whimsical and fun watches from the entire show. Now don't tell anyone, but I never quite figured out how to get the rotor to spin on the Mad 2. The Mad 1S was much more cooperative. A surprisingly beautiful watch was Deraika & Co.'s new square collection, the Capri. This one's got an aventurine dial and a manually winding movement. The watch is coming out at the end of the month, so keep an eye out on it if you're interested. Some of the most hyped watches from the show were the collaborations between Fierce and Studio Underdog with their Manhattan and Mimosa watches. Their booth had a line of prospective buyers since the Manhattan was exclusive to Windup and limited to 300 pieces. I really liked both watches and I'm sure they're going to be super popular with people. Next up was one of my favorite American brands, Traska, and their upcoming Jump Hour watch. At $1,200, this is going to be one of the most affordable Jump Hour watches on the market. They're also coming up with a couple of color options, so stay tuned. Another brand I love, Selton, was presenting for the first time in America. It was great seeing their entire collection in person, as well as seeing their partner brand Has No Bounds and their straps. I recently reviewed Selton's enamel watch and was pleasantly surprised to see an upcoming variation which might be even better looking. You're doing great work, Leo and Chris. Keep it up. Now I love Windup because you get to see so many people, including some you may be familiar with. It was cool to see the Time and Tide team in action. A new discovery for me was the French brand Pekinier. This brand has really cool dials with equally cool movements. Another awesome French brand I discovered was Awake, which honestly had some of the best looking watches in the entire show. Some of their watches were just drop dead gorgeous. I'll be wide awake and keep an eye out for them. A brand that has got a lot of eyes recently is Serica, and the star of the show was their new Parade watch. Serica makes some cool watches and I really like these Parades. Now, even if you don't love watches, you can find something to entertain yourself, like this spinning price wheel from Grand Central Watches. It gave you a lot of prize options, including the chance to win the new Laurier Roosevelt. Unfortunately for us, we only won a pen. Perhaps we should have asked Christopher Ward for help, because it seems to be the brand that just can't stop winning. As expected, it was one of the busiest stalls with people queuing up to see their watches. I got hands-on with the new Ultra Slim 12660 and was really impressed. I don't get the hate for this one online. If you've been hands-on with one, let me know what you thought. The best Christopher Ward watches, however, were the new Stone Dial Sealanders. The green malachite and purple charoite were my personal favorites and seem to be really popular with everyone else too. And stone dials are really having a moment. Many brands presented their takes on them, including an upcoming fairer. But the most stoned brand, the brand with the most stone dial watches, was undoubtedly Denison. This recently rebranded Swiss company had stones for days. In fact, they have so many stones that they are even combining multiple in a single watch. Jokes aside, these were really pretty watches and deserve the hype they're currently enjoying. Leaving Europe for a moment, two brands from the Far East caught my eye. The first was Japanese brand Kuo with their vintage-inspired watches. Very classy and refined and at really affordable price points. On the other end, Atelier Wen showcased some of their modern watches, including the new Ancestra line. I also spotted an Otsuka Lotec number 7.5 courtesy of Steve, aka Just Another Watch Guy. One of the most fun stalls was Mr. Jones watches. They have some of the most unique time displaying mechanisms. Just be aware that it takes a good set of magnifying glasses and an instructions manual to read some of these. But who even tells time with a wristwatch anyway? Some slightly more conventional watches were on display from brands like Trafford and Laco. Unfortunately, I just can't cover all the brands I saw, so I will wrap it up now. But as promised, my favorite watch from the show. Disclaimer, it's also going to be one of the most polarizing watches so far, and it is Space One's upcoming world timer. Just look at this thing. It's so futuristic and weird, but also so freaking awesome. Surprisingly, it's actually simple to set and read once you know where to look. I was relieved to see it wore pretty well, even on my small wrist. Relieved because, well, I bought this watch as soon as it was announced earlier this year. I can't wait for it to deliver by the end of the year. So that's it for Windup New York 2025. Hope you liked the virtual show. Please let me know which watch was your favorite. Also, if you were at the fair, did you find something cool there? I would love to know your thoughts. If you're interested in a similar glimpse of the other event, Watch Time, you can check that video here. Catch you in the next one very soon. Au revoir.